It's Monday, May 4th, 2020. Digital Trends Live is about to start. Here are some of the topics we're covering on today's episode of the show. After many months of speculation and anticipation, it's finally here. Apple has unveiled the newly redesigned 13-inch MacBook Pro. We'll walk you through what the update entails. And as rapidly as daily life has changed under the coronavirus, we may see even more changes as we come out of it, with Uber making a statement today that the rider-driver interaction will be different. Plus, you know one of our guests as Jonesy from Reno 911. That's right, Cedric Yarbrough will be here to talk about reuniting with the entire cast for all new episodes launching on Quibi today. And we've seen a lot of charity events happening to support frontline healthcare workers, and last weekend was Streaming for Humanity. We'll have Kelly Link and Smashley joining to talk about the gaming community coming together. All that and more on today's episode of Digital Trends Live. Yes, indeed, it is Monday. Hello, everyone. This is Digital Trends Live, broadcasting live every single weekday, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, bringing you trending tech headlines, news, interviews, discussions, and so much more. All broadcasting live across a number of different platforms, so you can drop in your comments, your questions, whatever you want to bring up as we go throughout the show, and that way you can join in this, talk amongst each other. But let's get you started here right now with some trending tech headlines. This is how we start off every show. So first off is this. Everybody loves new things from Apple, and that is what we're getting today. So this is something that's been anticipated for quite some time, but finally being announced, and it is the redesigned MacBook Pro, the 13-inch version, and here is what we're finding out about it right now. So again, something that we've been speculating about, we've been anticipating they were going to be announcing it. A lot of companies, announcing their products on very weird timelines right now, just because of the fact that we had our normal conventions were canceled, the normal events are canceled. So this is what we're looking at. With this one, though, in particular, one of the big upgrades is the keyboard, which we did anticipate that the keyboard would be getting an upgrade. That is the previously that scissor switch keyboard that was first introduced is something that they're going back to. So that butterfly one that people did not like very much is now going to be going away. That's something that Apple's really received a lot of complaints about over the years, and now they're finally getting rid of that. We expected that would probably be going away. It's also got a 13-inch Retina and True Tone display, Touch ID for biometrics authentication. The processing power is with the latest Intel 10th Gen quad-core chipset, so we did expect that. That's at least on the higher-end models. You've got some different versions that you can pick from, but we are expecting that, so that's a good thing there, good improvement on that. It's also going to be 2.8 times faster performance. That's what they're saying you get with it. The GPU supports Pro Display XDR at full 6K resolution. So you're going to get 6K resolution on that. And I'm taking a look here because at digitaltrends.com, we've got the full rundown of everything they announced with it. They've also doubled the base internal storage to 256 gigs. And they also have 32 gigs of RAM. So a lot of good improvements, good options on that. And this is one of the staple laptops that Apple has. So it's nice to see that some new products are coming out with those new features. And this is what we know so far. Now, we are going to be getting our hands on it as well, so that way we can get the full review. But this is what Apple has unveiled today. So the new base model cost is $1,299. So typical Apple price. It's not too bad for that version, but yeah, $1,299 is what you're going to be looking at for this starting price of those. But again, we've got all the details. You can take a look at digitaltrends.com and let us know what you think about the new Apple MacBook Pro. All right, continuing on here. As we bring you the trending news that is happening right now, let's talk about how our services are changing. Now, naturally, everything's changed over the last month and a half. We're already into May, which is just weird to think about. But going back to as we transition into somewhat normal life, maybe someday, Uber made an announcement saying that your driver-rider interaction is going to be different in that it looks like they're going to be requiring masks for both the driver and the riders. So this is something that they actually told CNN. This is according to sources with executives at Uber. They said that they're trying to figure out how they're going to verify that. That's the one thing, is how do you verify that everybody is abiding by that rule? They may have some system that's similar to the real-time ID check system that uses selfies and verification software to confirm identities. So it's possible you could have to take a picture of yourself or hold your face up to a camera, showcasing that you have the mask on. That is one possibility. We don't know exactly how that's going to happen, but that is one thing that's going to be pretty important. It's also speculated that self-policing among drivers and passengers is going to be very important to make sure that everybody abides by that. So this is, again, what Uber is proposing, what's most likely going to happen when we move on to having normal rides. I do know some people who have actually taken some rides in current times that are still available, but yeah, everybody was wearing masks then too, so it sounds like that may be an enforceable rule that's going to be going there. You do see things like Lyft. They launched Essential Deliveries, which is a new initiative for them to bring groceries to people and different kinds of shopping things. So we're going to see these services evolve and change, but that's one that I'm going to guess, if I had to guess, that that's something that is going to be instituted to where we're going to have to be wearing masks in those rides, maybe gloves. Who knows what the cleaning procedures are going to be like, but that is something that Uber is bringing out there. So you can read more about that as well at digitaltrends.com. Continuing on here with our trending news for the day. Let's talk about space travel. So we hear a lot about SpaceX and what they're doing, even Blue Origin and what some of the other companies are doing as far as taking people into space. Well, Virgin Galactic is right there as well. And this is the initiative by Richard Branson's company to bring people to the edge of space, but focusing really exclusively on tourism. And that's what's happening with this. So this is something that they just did, where they were able to launch a test flight that was successful. And this is a video that they released kind of showcasing what it would be like. And the way theirs works is this glider essentially flies up on the plane. So a plane takes it up. There you see that kind of double giant plane with the glider attached to it. It gets up to a very high speed, very high altitude, and then launches off of that. And then the idea is it'll take people just to the edge of space. So the general idea of what the boundary of space is 62 miles up. So that's where this will take you. If you buy a ticket, you'll get some views. You'll get to be waitlist for a little bit, but that's what they're going to be doing. And this test flight put them a little bit closer to it just with that they just did. But here's the thing. The price for a ticket on this flight would be $250,000 a seat. That is what they're starting at if you want to be a space tourist on Virgin Galactic and go up there into not orbit, but you're going to be just on the edge of space is what they would be taking you. But still, successful flight, and that's from their spaceport, which is in New Mexico. That's where they're going to be launching all of theirs from. But still interesting to see different companies work on different strategies, and that's what they've got right there. Speaking of space, let's transition to this. It's Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. Yes, I have to say it, of course. And with that, Disney is launching some new programming today to celebrate Star Wars Day, and that is the entire Skywalker saga is now available on Disney+. That's all 9 movies, all 9 of them, including the Rise of Skywalker, now available on Disney+ as of today. So if you really want to, you would sit down and try to watch all of them. I don't even know if you get through them in one day, actually. I'm thinking about the hours on that. But still, you could attempt. And so that's up there. It's pretty much every Star Wars movie, actually. That includes Rogue One is on there, except for Solo, which Solo is still on Netflix until July, and then it'll be moving over to Disney+. But that is launched. You also have the Mandalorian behind the scenes docuseries that is going up as well, so something else to watch. But if you want to celebrate some Star Wars today, may the 4th be with you. There is a lot to watch there that you can check out. And again, that's just a little taste of it. We've got lots of articles too at Digital Trends about even speculating what the right order is to watch the movies in, if you really want to get technical with it. But you can read all about all of that at digitaltrends.com. So go there to celebrate Star Wars if you would so like to do. We've got plenty of things for you to take a look at there. But again, that is for Star Wars. Check it out at digitaltrends.com. All right, the product of the day. Yes, you need this. Here it is. This is what we're talking about today, right? We're all watching a lot of television. I just mentioned watching Star Wars. Well, you want to watch it on a good TV, don't you? Why not this one? This is the Samsung 65-inch class 4K UHD 2160p LED smart TV with HDR. So there is what we're looking at right now. This television's got it all. It's got HDR. It's got 4K UHD, as I said, so it's got all the Ks and all the HDRs that you want. It's got game mode. It's got a motion rate of 120. It's got contrast enhance. So really the picture is going to be really quality on this. It's got 2 HDMI connections, 1 USB connection, and it's got built-in Wi-Fi. It's got the Dolby Digital Plus sound, so you can hook it up to some good speakers and get some really good sound with it. And right now, it's on sale for a pretty good deal. If you take a look at that link that we're going to showcase there. So this is the Samsung UHD TV on sale right now for, let's see, $498 is what I'm seeing here as far as what the price is. So that is definitely some big savings on that you can take a look at. And again, you need a good television while you're watching everything at home, maybe playing games on it. You can do everything with that one. That is the 65-inch Samsung, so click that link right below there to take advantage of the product of the day. All right, coming up next, we've got a lot of great guests here on the show. But up next, if you're a fan of Reno 911, you're going to be really excited about who's joining us next, and that is Jonesy, aka Cedric Yarbrough, who's going to be joining the show to talk about the return of Reno 911 to Quibi, launching today. He's here on the show. Stick around, back here in a minute with more Digital Trends Live. Welcome back to Digital Trends Live. Again, thank you everyone for joining us wherever you are. We appreciate it. I'm Greg Nibbler. We broadcast live here every single weekday, so hit that subscribe button. And right now, I am very excited for our next guest. You know him from a million different TV shows, a million different movies, but certainly Reno 911. He's Deputy Jones, aka Jonesy, on there, and Reno 911 is back as of today on Quibi. I've already watched an episode. Joining us right now, we have Cedric Yarbrough. Cedric, thank you so much for being here with us. And the first question we're asking everybody is, how are you holding up during quarantine?
I'm hanging in. I'm hanging in here, man. I got a little facial hair. I thought I'd put a suit on here for you, Greg Nibbler. I wanted to look nice for you.
Yeah, you're looking great. And the best part is you don't have the bottom shot, so it doesn't matter.
Yes, but I am wearing pants. I wanted to complete the set. That's how I'm doing in quarantine. I'm going full out. I'm wearing both sets.
Nice. All right. Well, talking about Reno 911 returning, I want to ask, just how this all came about. How were you approached by it? And you got the whole cast back. What was that like?
It was it was a process where we have always wanted to come back. But we got some, not to toot our own horns, but got some heavy hitters on the show. And so we started working. Wendy McClendon Covey, who plays Clementine on the show. She's on the Goldbergs. Niecy Nash is on Claws. I've done a couple of things here and there. Tom Lennon done a lot of we all were working. And so it was just kind of hard for us to get a schedule back and for us to all, do the show again. But once we had some time and we found a format in Quibi that actually wanted us, we were elated. We couldn't wait to, get back those weird, terrible colored costumes, put those back on and to do the show. So, and now, 11 years later, here we are. We are doing the show again, and it's really weird, really strange. But I think we caught lightning in a bottle again, and I think Quibi is a great format for this particular show.
Yeah, it is interesting with the 10-minute episodes, in case anybody doesn't know. So they're 10 minutes apiece. Like I said, I think you're right. It is a great format for Reno 911 in particular. But talking about getting everybody back together, for big fans, and I am one, I'm not going to hide that. What was it like, with the whole cast getting back together for that first time and interacting with each other after all those years? Did it come right back, or did it take time to get that rhythm again?
I was worried. I really was worried about us, getting our timing back. Those morning briefings are all improvised. We don't have a script that we're following there, and we're surprising each other. And so it was like a weird Super Friends type of atmosphere. You got Aquaman and Batman here, and Wonder Woman. Got all these guys with super strength and super powers now. With their comedic chops are on high, and we're all getting back together again. It was really fun and really exciting just to do it again. But it was nerve-wracking. I was a little worried that we just weren't gonna click like we used to, and we do. We still get each other's rhythms. I don't know exactly what Carlos Alazraqui is gonna say, but I know I can set him up for something, and he's just gonna smash it. And that's also one of the great things about doing a show for so long, is that you kind of have a brand. You actually have a rhythm. Your guest stars actually kind of know what to expect when they come in to do a show like Reno 911, and as well as the series regulars. We know what to expect as well, and so I'm really excited. I'm really excited that people get to see 3 episodes back to back to back today, and for the next week you get new episodes each day.
And yeah, there's 3 episodes, out today, again on Quibi for everybody to check out. And talking about it, with this launching during quarantine, certainly social media is a way that a lot of people are connecting. I know you're active on Instagram quite a bit. Can you speak to that a little bit? Like, how have you been using social media during quarantine?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's a different way to connect to fans, and connect to people that still want to be entertained, and especially during this time, people still want to laugh. It's kind of even more important now. It's a tough time out there. People are feeling it. I know I am. With family, and so to take a little mini break and to be a part of that is really fulfilling, for someone like me. Someone complimenting me on I've had a rough time of this, but to be able to escape a little bit and watch like some old friends, like the terrible Reno 911 cops, really kind of brightens my day, and that feels good, man.
Yeah, I mean, and entertainment's so key right now. Everybody's looking for an escape, and certainly what you do helps out so many people with this, and in perfect timing, for Reno 911 to come back on top of that. Something along those lines, just to ask you this, if you had to be quarantined with one character from Reno 911, the actual character, who would you want to be quarantined with?
Oh, man, that I haven't heard that question at all yet, and it's man, that's tough because everyone's so bad. They're really, really terrible at everything. I think are we talking about Jones, or are we talking about Cedric here?
Either one. Let's say Cedric. Who would Cedric want to be quarantined with
Cedric,
if you had to pick one?
if I had to, I would be quarantined with Travis Jr. He, of course, is terrible. He's a bad shot, but at least he has a bulletproof vest on, and maybe I could borrow it. And that's as good as it's gonna get, because everyone else is really bad, you know. Now Jones, I think Jones would probably quarantine with Clementine. You know, he's still very attracted to her. She's still very attractive. They drive each other crazy, but you know, at least they would have each other. That's all I got.
That's fair enough. That all makes sense. Okay, one final question here too, just for tech. That's something that we ask everybody is, when it comes to tech, what's the one piece of technology that you couldn't live without right now?
Oh man, wow! It's a tie between this phone and this computer. I have so many Zoom meetings right now. Being able to, speak with you right now. This is my thing here. You know, I got it right here on my my spice rack, so I can have it nice and spinny here for you. So I gotta say, man, it's a tie between that phone and this. I'm gonna go with the phone right now because, hey, that's the only way you're gonna be able to see Reno 911 right now is on Quibi on your phone. So you gotta be able to have the phone.
Perfect. And with the action shots on the spice rack, I mean, you've kind of got it all set up right there, and the suit, the whole deal. Cedric, I want to say thank you so much for joining us today to talk about it. And again, I want to emphasize for everybody, it's out on Quibi right now. There's 3 episodes that are up of Reno 911, the whole cast back together. It's phenomenal. And just thank you so much for being here to talk about it with us.
Oh, man, no, thank you for having me. We got great guest stars, Tim Allen, Weird Al Yankovic, Ron Perlman, Patton Oswalt is back. I mean, you guys are going to love the show, and especially if you already love Reno 911. This is a bigger, better, just look in a smaller package, but it's really vibrant on Quibi. It's really fun. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for everything you do. Cedric Yarbrough right here on Digital Trends Live. Really, really appreciate it. And for everybody out there too, don't forget, on Quibi. So that's what I'm emphasizing. Reno 911 fans, seriously, it's really good. It's great. All right, I know we need to move on. I'm kind of excited about that. So we've got lots more to talk about though coming up here on the show. So here's what I want to remind everybody is this, that we are broadcasting live right now. So you can join in the show wherever you are. And a lot of things have been going on to support frontline care workers. And that includes last weekend with Streaming for Humanity. And we've got Kelly Link and Smashley joining us right here on the show to talk about how the event went and how the gaming community is coming together. So all that's coming up next. Stick around. Back here in a minute with more Digital Trends Live. Welcome back to Digital Trends Live. I'm Greg Nibbler again. Thank you, everybody, for joining us wherever you are. Hit that subscribe button. And certainly we see a lot of different communities coming together to support frontline healthcare workers. And that happened over this last weekend with Stream for Humanity, where a number of different amazing gamers got together. And here to talk about the event and how it all went down and to recap it for us, joining us, we have Kelly Link and Smashley right here on the show with us right now. I want to say thank you so much for joining us. And I want to talk to both of you just about, something we were asking everybody, which is how are you holding up during quarantine? So Kelly, maybe you can go first. How are you holding up?
It's a little embarrassing to say, but my life wasn't too much different before the quarantine. I'm kind of a homebody. I stay home a lot and play video games all the time. Obviously, there's been some challenges with it, but I've been holding up pretty well.
Nice. Smashley, what about you? How's it been?
It's been actually, I'm in the similar boat where like nothing's really changed besides honestly working more. There's a lot more people like on the internet now. So it's like there's so much more to do.
Yeah, and it's such a great time for gaming too, because there's so many more people that are at home that can get involved or that want to watch. And I want to talk about Stream for Humanity and just how you both got involved with that. Like Kelly, how did this come about for you?
I've actually worked with Kafeli before in the past at TwitchCon, and they approached me with their Give FTW for the Win program that they're doing to help raise money for these kind of causes. So yeah, I mean, I've worked with them in the past. I really liked working with them. So when they approached me with this, I was more than happy to join them and to raise money for such a good cause.
Smashley, for you, I want to ask you, just participating in the event, what was your favorite part of it? What was it like actually being involved in this?
My favorite part, I think, was just putting on the rock concert that I put on. There was actually a part where we had like technical difficulties near the like last half of the stream, and the track stopped playing, the video track. And I knew the song well enough that I just kept playing. And I don't think half of chat like realized that that I was just playing by memory for half of it. And it was honestly such a great time to put on such an awesome concert.
Yeah, that's got to be kind of a rush, just going off of memory and hoping that you've got it right. So with that, and talking about just the kind of the event itself and what's gone on with it, something that we're seeing a lot more is people gaming. People are gaming more, and I guess during this isolation, during quarantine time, what kind of changes have you seen? During this?
For me, it's been that the internet has been way worse recently. I'm guessing everyone's online right now, whether watching Netflix or playing games. I am having a harder time. I'm getting more ping when I play online games. So that's my struggle right now with the differences. But yeah, something that was mentioned earlier, that there definitely seems to be more people online right now. More people are gaming, which is great.
And Smashley, what about you? And also, something I want to ask you too is, are there more games that are coming back into your rotation now that you're in isolation? Are there some other ones that you're picking back up that maybe you haven't used in a while?
I actually recently got to do a full playthrough of single player games, which normally I don't get to do. It's normally a lot of multiplayer games or shows that I get to put on. But I actually got to do an entire playthrough of the brand new Final Fantasy VII Remake, which was amazing. But yeah, I agree with Kelly. There's just so much more going on, and esports has taken off, and so much has changed with gaming in general since the quarantine.
Yeah, then that's great that you got to play the whole thing through. I still haven't done that myself yet. Kelly, something that I want to ask you too is, I know that I've heard you've come in contact with the Xbox Series X, the new one.
Whew,
so with this new console, I know you can't give away anything, but is there anything you're most excited about with this new platform?
It was really interesting. So yeah, I got to work with Microsoft for their GameStack Live event, which is the information that they would have shared at GDC, but GDC obviously was canceled due to COVID-19, like everything else. So we got to do an online, like backstage look at what they would have shown. And first of all, it's beefy. It's kind of a big guy. And it's very powerful. But at the same time that this was going on, they also were showing the PlayStation 5 for the first time. So there was a lot of comparisons going on. I am a bit biased because I did work for Microsoft, so it's very impressive. I would say overall it's a bit stronger than the PlayStation. besides the SSD. So it'll be interesting because the PlayStation has kind of knocked it out of the park for the last few like console wars that we've been seeing for 20 years now. It'll be interesting to see if Xbox comes back after a bit of a lull with the Xbox One.
Yeah, I am really excited for that. It sounds like maybe it's still on pace for this fall, so or
I hope so.
Thanksgiving time, I think is what they were saying. So I hope so too. Yeah, I definitely want to see it. I love the console wars. All right, something else here, just to talk about. With Stream for Humanity, ending on Saturday and really successful event. I just want to ask, Smashley, maybe we can go to you here, just talking about what else gamers can be doing and what else the gaming community is doing to help out with all of this.
Honestly, if you haven't been to Give FTW yet, you should go there. They have just this huge, huge list of charities that are supporting COVID-19 resilience, relief, anything that you can do to donate there. But so many of my fellow broadcasters, Kelly included, are out here trying to raise money as much as we can for to help families in need, especially the poor who maybe don't have the medical coverage that they need to actually fight this. So whatever you guys can give.
Yeah, giveftw.com. Again, I want to emphasize that website. That's a great place to go. And it's what's also great is you two are both using your platforms to help out with this. You've got voices, you've got platforms to do this, and in partnership with things like Stream for Humanity, you've been able to make a difference, and that's fantastic. And I want to say thank you both as well for joining us here on the show today too. We really, really do appreciate it, and thank you for everything you're doing. Again, giveftw.com. Go there, take a look at it. And Kelly, Smashley, thank you so much for being here on Digital Trends Live.
Thanks for having us.
All right, so there we go. So Stream for Humanity happened this last weekend. Again, really great way to see the gaming community come together, and still some great ways that everybody can help out there with giveftw.com. And thank you, everybody, for joining us. Coming up next, we've got a pretty great guest also who's going to be joining us. It's a lineup of great guests. Yassuo, 100 Thieves. Yeah, he's going to be here on the show talking about a new partnership with JBL and what he's doing in quarantine and how it's all working out. So that's coming up next. Stick around back here in a minute with more Digital Trends Live. Welcome back to Digital Trends Live. I'm Greg Nibbler. Again, thank you for joining us. Hit that subscribe button. I say it a lot, but I mean it. Just hit the subscribe button. That way you get notifications when we go live. You get to join in the conversations that we get to have, which are fantastic. And joining us right now to talk about gaming and just in particular this partnership with 100 Thieves, we've got Yassuo, joining us right now here on the show. Number one, thank you so much for being here. Excited to talk about the JBL partnership and everything else that is going on. But we also like to ask everybody, just to start off when we do an interview, is how are you holding up during quarantine?
Hey, thank you for having me. Quarantine. So quarantine is definitely like not the situation I think anyone wants to be in. I think a little bit, luckily for me, I've kind of been in quarantine almost all my life since all I do is really play video games and stay indoors. So I'm going to be honest, nothing on the outside has changed too much for me, but it is, definitely like not the situation I wish anyone to be in. This pandemic's just a little crazy, but, hopefully we all get through it.
Right. I mean, and I think that's really what it is. We're all trying to figure out how to get through it. But gaming is something that a lot of people are doing more and more now, and including watching gaming as though they weren't before. But now it feels like it's even blowing up more. With that being said, how have you seen it change here during this time of isolation and quarantine?
I definitely see it blowing up a lot more. I see numbers on Twitch especially going up. Like clearly a lot more people are into it because I think that's the thing. A lot of people just want something to do when they're cooped up indoors all day. And that's kind of where like gaming really shines. Like it's just the best thing to do, especially with a lot of games coming out like that people are excited for.
Yeah. Are there any particular games that you've had more time to spend some time on or to play that you didn't before?
Well, Valorant just came out, which is a new FPS from Riot Games. I've put in a lot of hours at the start of that game. Like when the game came out, I was grinding over 10 hours a day, every single day. So definitely put in my time in that game. A little burnt now because of how much time I put into it, but it was definitely a great game to play.
Well, talking about, joining 100 Thieves and just how that transition was like, what was it like going into that and being part of this partnership and a team now compared to before?
So I've been a part of 100 Thieves for almost a year now, and honestly, I can say it's definitely the best organization I've been a part of. 100 Thieves does everything to help its content creators and even its sponsors, and any sponsor obligations I ever have or anything I ever do with 100 Thieves, they always make it super easy. The JBL partnership came to be because 100 Thieves contacted me about it, and I've heard of JBL in the past because I've heard about their audio systems, but I never knew that they were in headphones. I think they only recently got into that, especially with the quantum range they have. So they pretty much hit me up and asked me if I wanted to be a part of it. And before I take any sponsor, I always tell them to send me the headsets because obviously I can't just promote something I don't try out. I need to make sure the sound quality is there. It's worth the pricing and all that. And after trying out the headsets, I really like them, and I told them I'm 100% down. I think the thing that got me really locked into it, that I liked a lot, is they don't just have one headset that's at a super high price point where it's you either buy it or you can't buy it. So what they have is they have a quantum range. They have 8 different headsets ranging from a few $100s to $40. So it's a good price point for anyone who if you have a budget, it's you'll be able to get a good headset no matter what.
How important is it for you when you're playing as far as the sound and the sound quality and what you listen for, I guess, when you're putting on a set of headphones?
I think sound is super, super important in gaming. It depends on obviously the type of game you play. I think for games like League of Legends, for example, sound isn't as important. But if you're playing a game like Counter-Strike, Valorant, Apex Legends, any type of shooting game, even Fortnite, sound is key, because hearing someone's footsteps, hearing someone's gunshots, hearing any single thing is the most important thing in the game.
And so thinking about it, from that standpoint too, and just with all of the different games that are out there right now, obviously you've got your projects that you're working on. Is there a game out there that you wish you could spend some more time on, that you want to play more?
I've been putting a lot of time into Apex Legends recently, actually. I think that game is fantastic. It's great. At the moment, currently, the viewer base just isn't there for the game. I think the game's just not doing as well, but hopefully it picks back up in the future. It definitely had its spikes where it's been one of the more hype games on Twitch, especially when the game first came out and a bunch of content creators were on it. At the moment, it's probably at one of its lowest peaks, but hopefully it gets back up there because I think it's one of the best made games. That's a game that I just truly enjoy.
Nice. I mean, looking at it from the standpoint of these big events that were going to be going on, that were happening last year, the big in-person events, how is the gaming community reacting to that? And how do you think some of these big tournaments and things are going to play out here over this next year?
I think it definitely sucks, both for the events where viewers and streamers and professional players attend, and then also just the tournaments that professional players attend. I think it's all that's obviously a really shitty situation, but I think a lot of them are transitioning into more online tournaments. One of my roommate, for example, is a professional player, and he played his whole entire series online, his tournament, his final, everything is just online. So I think that's what everyone's going to be transitioning into.
Yeah, I mean it's weird to adapt to all this, and like you said, it sucks. But it's just interesting to see how it all plays out. And it seems like the gaming community's in a good spot for it. Something we ask everybody here on the show too is just since we do talk about tech here on the show, is what is the one piece of tech that you wouldn't be able to live without?
Honestly, my phone, my computer. I could go on a list. Like if I wasn't born in this generation, I don't know what I'd be doing if I'm gonna be completely real. Like my whole entire life revolves around like electronics, like just being on my computer, being on my phone, just like whatever it is. I just like I'm addicted to all of this stuff. So I don't know. I everything. I'd probably go my phone just because that's the classic. Like my phone, contact people on my phone. Like I do everything with my phone. So I'll go with that.
Yeah, phone would be it. That makes sense. Looking at this too, just going forward, just one other thing I wanted to ask you too is just for advice out there for anybody who is, starting the game more right now and people have more time, they're at home, they're able to do it more, and maybe somebody who's been wanting to get into it for a long time and try to go pro, what kind of advice would you have for them?
My biggest advice, like my absolute biggest advice, and I repeat this all the time, is make sure that you're always aware of like what you're doing. Don't drop everything you're doing and be like, yo, I'm going to become a professional player. That's like, it is actually just stupid. Like if I'm going to be completely honest, it's reckless and it's stupid. Make sure you're always like focusing on what you're doing right now, whether it's high school, whether it's college, whether it's your job, whatever it is. Don't drop everything and do what you did. Like for me, for example, I was going to college and I was working at the same time while I was streaming, and only till I started getting like hundreds and thousands of viewers did I like actually drop out of college and like even take a break. Like I just make sure you're always good for yourself, because ultimately you want to like set yourself up for success, and throwing away all these opportunities for like a chance at another opportunity is not the way. You can definitely do anything you're doing right now, whether it's like college, school, and I'm sure it's different for every single person, but in my opinion, streaming obviously takes time, but it doesn't take that much time to where you can't do anything else. So make sure you're just setting yourself up for success and not failure.
Was there a single moment where you realized like, okay, this is it, this is what I was waiting for, now I can completely quit everything else and go pro, or was it more of a gradual transition?
I'd say it's a little more of a gradual transition, because especially because of me, I was like I have like Middle Eastern parents, and my dad's like super strict on like the whole concept is like going to college and getting a degree is a necessity. Like if you don't have a degree, then you're just kind of unsuccessful. That's like kind of like the more traditional viewpoint, especially like that my parents were raised into and that I was raised into. So for me, even just getting like sustainable income just kind of wasn't enough. I had to like prove to them that this is like something I can do for the rest of my life or like the future. So once I started showing them like my viewership just like constantly on the upper rise and like not even stopping, like when I'm hitting like thousands of viewers and like making thousands of dollars, then they were just like, okay, like you can take a semester off to try and see how it goes. So that's how it went for me.
Nice. Finally convinced them.
Yeah.
Something else that, just to kind of wrap up what we're talking about here too, talking about, the JBL partnership. Can you just walk us through again, just really quick, what that means and when these are going to be available for everybody to try to pick them up?
So the JBL headsets, like I said, they contacted me. Headsets are great audio quality. I think 100 Thieves and JBL have a lot of cool things planned in the future, whether it ranges from like a sweepstakes I think they're doing on Twitter. I think that ends tomorrow. They're giving away $10,000 in headsets to fans on the 100 Thieves Twitter. I think they also have like plans to do stuff with jerseys in the future. So they have a lot of cool stuff. I think the Quantum 1 headset is going to launch end of the week. And I think just honestly check out the JBL headset if you want like better. I don't want to like butcher anything. I know the brief details, but if you want any complete details, probably head up the JBL website and find everything there.
Yeah, we've got the link right there too. So jbl.com/quantum, where everybody can go there and take a look at the headsets. And I like that the fact that it's a different range too, depending on what you want. Well, yeah. So I want to say thank you very much for joining us here on the show too to talk about this. Appreciate you taking some time. What do you got going on today that people can tune into?
Well, I stream almost every single day at twitch.tv/Yassuo, and I do gameplay work ranging from like League of Legends to watching random videos to Warzone to Apex Legends to Valorant. So I kind of just do a little bit of everything at the moment. So yeah, but thank you for having me on the show. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. All right, so there we go. Yassuo right here on Digital Trends Live. Really, really appreciate that. So check out everything. Like you said, he's gaming all day. I was just going to see if we could figure out which one it was, but just tune in. That's how you find out. All right, we've got more coming up, and I want to say thank you to everybody who's joining us here on Digital Trends Live. Appreciate it. In honor of May the 4th, we've got a video we're going to play here after this quick break, and so we've got a lot more to talk about, so stick around back here in a minute with more Digital Trends Live.
I am here at Saber Forge in Oregon City, Oregon. It is one, maybe the only Saber showroom in the country.
This is the double reel MPP. It turns on like you'd normally expect, but what this one's got going for it is, let me shut it off. It's got a crystal chamber in the top section, so when you unscrew it, you've got this quartz crystal here and all these
very cool
detailed greeblies there, and then the bottom section also unscrews.
A double reveal.
A double reveal.
You guys have been very careful about not infringing on any IP that Disney owns, correct?
Yeah, we definitely steer clear of the intellectual property, which is pretty easy because we found that customers really want their own saber. They love the characters in Star Wars and those iconic sabers, but they want to be their own character, kind of be the hero of their own life story. You know, I never started with the intention of growing into something big. It was always just, you know, trying to get better at making sabers, and it's sort of forced to improve the technology, and when you improve the technology, it tends to take up more space.
And so tell me a little bit about that technology, like what all goes into creating something that's not just beautiful to look at, but sparring sabers.
The technology has actually come a long way in 10 years. So when we first started off, LED technology was maybe 10% of the efficiency that it is now. and really wasn't happy with it. So constantly, you know, buying all the newest LEDs and testing those, that's a big component, is the brightness. And then the blades, blade technology hasn't changed all that much. Polycarbonate is polycarbonate. And right now, that's still the most durable material we can use. But there's this new aluminum alloy. It's like an aluminum resin almost. It's crazy expensive right now, but I think in 10 years, all of these blades are probably going to be transparent aluminum. I just ordered some to test. Okay. They're like $600 each.
It's pretty expensive.
True, but I think it works as a tax write-off for testing.
Yeah, sure, R&D.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm sure, you know, the Empire had to do some R&D first when they were building.
That's right. Sabers. Death Star was actually the third version.
So somebody can go to, is it saberforge.com?
Saberforge.com.
And they can work, like, figure out what components they want to create their own custom saber?
They have two options. So we have the largest selection of pre-built sabers in the world. We've got more than 80 styles to choose from, but if even that amount of selection isn't enough for them, they can literally choose every piece that goes into it and build from like millions of different combinations.
Philip, I really appreciate you being here with us, showing off some of your freaking awesome sabers.
May the Forge be with you.
All right, there we go for Star Wars Day. Some lightsabers. Seriously, those are awesome. I have been able to hold one of those before. They're badass. In honor of Star Wars Day 2, I just want to remind everybody we've got lots of coverage at digitaltrends.com, including breaking news that Taika Waititi is going to be directing a Star Wars movie. So Lucasfilm announced that just this morning. We've got all the breaking news at digitaltrends.com. Take a look there. Thank you to everybody who joined us today. For tomorrow, I just want to specify who we have here coming up on the show, and it is right here. We've got iPod King Carter, who's going to be joining us, gaming content creator and gamer. He's going to be here on the show as part of our full screen edition where we talk to really incredible people. So he's going to be here. We've also got John Velasco. He's going to be talking about smart homes. So that's just in part what's happening tomorrow, and we're always full of surprises, so you never know what you're going to get, and that's why you want to hit that subscribe button to join the show here every single day. We appreciate all of you who do join in, but that way you get the notification, it pops up, and you get to see the amazing things that we get to talk about. Also, don't forget, digitaltrends.com. That's where you can go to catch up on all the latest tech news. Big shout out to Cedric Yarbrough. Seriously, I'm a huge fan, so that was really awesome that he was on here for Reno 911. And lots more to talk about tomorrow, but as I said, go to digitaltrends.com, stay up to date all day long, and I'm Greg Nibbler. I'll be right back here tomorrow with another edition of Digital Trends Live.